cutiest of all cutinesses. This is the second video in my eyelid problems solving series, or whatever you want to name it, but it's still about hooded eyes. And this time, as you see, I did two different looks. I did not fight. I don't have a black eye from a punch in the eye, but I did a brown smoky eye specifically for hooded eyes, and of course I had to do a complete black rock chick hooded eye smoky eye. Sorry, but this is the look that I'm going for today, a brown or a black, but it are smoky eyes specifically for hooded eyes. Let's get started! Hello my sweet peas, with Simba very present today. Because my husband is just walking the dog, he will not shut up until they're back, believe me. But, okay, never mind him, please, in the background. What I want to help you learn today is number 2 in my eye problem solving tips is a solution to do a nice, serious smoky eye for hooded eyes. Really true. There are some tips that you have to keep in consideration, and that is, of course, you have your sack. If you do like you would normally do a smoky eye, you're gonna start in the corners of your eye. You're gonna make a blob with black. I even start just immediately with black eyeshadow or a cream where I put eyeshadow over. I immediately smack on black, but that's with my eyes, and I'm doing makeup very regularly. So if you're not that often doing makeup, or you're not that experienced in makeup, take it easy. Start with a neutral tone and build up. And that's what I'm gonna show you today. But I'm gonna also tell you about how you can cheat that freaking bag that's hanging there. So normally I would start with using black in this area or in my V. But if I use my V, that's right underneath my roof there, my terrace that's hanging there, and on the eyeline. Now on the eyeline, that's no problem, unless your hooded eyes hang to your lashes. Now I would never let it get that far. I would use then the stickers that I showed in my previous video, or even consider a surgical help for that, because my husband has that and his eyes are literally like that. He doesn't have openness in his eyes anymore. He always looks very grumpy. And people always ask me why that woman comes to annoy me. When I start filming, bam, there she is.
Because I like you.
Yes, and she's poking a needle in my tummy. But that's all. That's how she loves me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Needleslov of zoiets.
And I am keeping this in the video. She can count on it this I'm telling you. As I was saying, and Simba is still not shutting up, we have that terrible hood. And if we, like we normally would, start out on the outer V, the line of the lashes and the crease are not the same if you have hooded eyes, like I explained in the first video. And if you want to know all of that, go check out that video. I will link it somewhere here. And I now want to start telling you how to build up a nice blended smoky eye with black and all you want, and even shimmer and even... Let's get started with the first thing I'm gonna do on both eyes. The very first thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyelids, because we don't want any creasing where this terrible hood is. So I'm putting some concealer, but you can use eye primer, you can use anything you have that you use to prime your eyelid. And I would, if something would want to come out, it would be handy if there was anything coming out. Okay. This always happens to me, things like this. Okay, so I'm just applying it roughly, and I'm gonna divide it up and a little bit under the eyelid. Now, you want to think in advance, do I want to go in a round motion or do I want to go in a tip? I'm gonna go in a little tip, from the tip of my brow to the lower lash line. So not to there, but from here to the tip of the brow. So also on this side, from the tip of the brow to there is where I want to go, so I have to have primer also to there. Those are things that we need to think of before we start doing a very outspoken look. And this I'm gonna set with a very neutral eyeshadow, and set this concealer. You can use translucent powder or this very light color. This is perfect because it has its brown and beigey tones to build up. So now with this same brush, I'm gonna start to build the base of our smoky eye, but first we're gonna cheat nature. And how am I gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna take a fine brush, no matter which one. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna look straight into the mirror and I'm gonna make a line from higher than my natural crease. So if you look in the mirror and you're gonna do your makeup like this, and you're gonna make a line above your own crease, and you do that, where's that line? It is there, but if you normally use your eyes like you do, it's gone. So you really have to do this with your face very relaxed and looking straight ahead in a mirror, and then you are gonna draw a line that is higher than your real crease and very visible. You see, that's almost a centimeter higher than if you do it this way. So relax your face completely and look straight ahead in the mirror, and then find a spot where your hood isn't yet, if you look from above. And now, what we normally do is, when we blend or do anything, we do this. Wrong. If you have hooded eyes, what you're gonna do is drag down the outer corner. You're gonna drag down your hooded shape, which comes down here. Plus, if you have droopy eyes, you're extra gonna droop the eyes down. And that's not what we want. We wanna go up, 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 can only go up from here. Up, 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 where your crease will appear. Okay, that's enough. Sorry. Gonna use that same brush with extra brown powder. If you do this from the inner corner, that's okay, because you're gonna work your way up from here to your new crease. So on the inner corner it's fine. But now, instead of coming down along parallel with our crease, we're gonna work our way up by making a straight horizontal line. You've heard me well, a very straight horizontal line. Now I wanted to use this, but actually that is a little bit too thick to show you very well. Let's take this for instance. It's got a straight line, or let's take this. That is a straight ruler. And with that ruler, you're gonna make a line that is normally, if you have really very bad hooded eyes or you wanna start your line lower, you're gonna have to go over your fold somewhere. Now in my case, I don't have to do that, but I can show you how it would be if my line would start there instead of there. So if you have a different type of hooded eye, you will have to cross your hood somewhere. So what you will have then is a line that's jumping from here to there. Because if you put your eye down, it's one line. But once you're talking and doing things like this and that and moving, it's moving too. So you're gonna have a straight line like this, but that straight line is gonna be completely crooked. And that's a tip we're gonna use for winged eyeliners in the next video. But let's stay here now. So what I'm gonna do is, where I want my line to be, draw a straight line across, a very straight line. So you can come from here, and we are working with straight lines to map it out, but you will see it come together. So if you would do it over a hood, you will have to get that. But in my case, so there. Now I can do that, because working on an eyelid that's movable is not easy. So to work on it, you can do that, but we know where our line is. Yay! And what we can do also is take our ruler and make a line from the lower, turn it around, from the lower lash line to the end of the brow. That is where you're gonna make your ending. But it's not gonna be a tip completely. I am gonna make it a little bit less pointed, so you get this result. But I'm on purpose starting from below the lash line, so that you get, and you see, if I do this, you can also have that effect. You see, I start from underneath my eye and I make my straight line towards the brow, and this is normal, and once I pull open my eye, you see that curve, and that's what we're all gonna have to work away. That's why we are working with straight lines that will have the shape that we need. A straight line that you can bend from the inner corner. A complete straight line on the top that can have this shape like a lightning stroke. If you would completely draw it like you have to, you get that, which means you are going across your hood with that line, and that's perfectly fine. But as you see, normal, it looks like a straight line. But once you do the real stretching to do the makeup, you have a zigzag line. But as I have placed it a lot higher to show you, or you can go that high, that's our line. Now with a small appliement brush, I'm gonna start with a light brown color. And that I'm gonna bring high above the line that we created, but I am following the shape. So I'm starting from the inner corner and I'm going in a curve, but I'm especially staying right above the line so you can still see that line. And I'm bringing that like that to the point where this line is. That is our base color. So now I can take a bigger fluffy brush, take that color and use it and blend it right there. And I'm doing the same on this side. And I'm leaving about half a centimeter to a centimeter, depending on the space you have between your brow and your lash line. You must see that you still have a highlight space. So leaving a highlight space, you're just gonna blend and bring that color here in a circular motion, but still coming down in the shape of a point with a rounded tip instead of going completely around. And I am bringing it along because the line that we made there came from the lower lash line, so I am following that lower lash line. And now it's okay to stretch and to make the weirdest faces we do when we do makeup. And now with a clean brush, you can take a small flat appliement brush or a little small fluffy brush. This one is both. And I'm gonna take a very light color. If I were to take the shimmer, I am only gonna accentuate this bump. So everything that is shimmer reflects the light, and light reflects on a surface that is sticking out. So if I put glittery eyeshadow or highlighter on top of this hood, I am just gonna pull it further away from my skin and make it appear bigger. That's not what we want. We want to have it further back. So I'm now taking that instead of this color because that's a bit too beige. This one in the corner is a bit too beige according to my liking. So I'm going to this lowest big falling, and I am blending that against the brow and a little bit with my brown color. And as I said, you can go lighter and lighter no matter how you want it. And as well, for a look with shimmer and lightness in it, as for a complete black, dark, smoky eye, you do this first, because it marries this color and that color together. To continue this look, I am going to take this flat applying and blending brush, and on the other side I have a more dense flat brush. You can also use, specifically for the lower lash line, I would use a bullet brush. Now there is going to be sound from the TV. Please don't let that bother you. It's not bothering me anyway, so don't let it bother you either. Now, up next, we're going to a darker color. Now, to build up our color, you take the dense brush or a flat applyment brush, and we are moving up a color. So what I'm gonna do now is do the same, but I'm gonna stay just on top of our beautiful line that we had created. And I'm not gonna come to the inner corner. I'm gonna stay on our horizontal line. And actually, I am blending that horizontal line away. That's why I had applied it with a dark brown, so that we can blend it away with a dark brown. Here I'm taking my curve the same way, and I'm bringing the dark brown completely to 1 centimeter away from the inner tear duct area, so 2/3 of the lower lash line, and work our way and blendy, 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 blendy on that drawn on line. Little circular motions in our curve up there and away with that horizontal line, and you can, instead of doing this with a blending brush, whoop, 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 you're now going straight across with a more dense brush. I'm gonna do only this eye now to show you how you can make a beautiful eye look with shimmers but a smoky eye on this area. Now I'm taking the other side and I'm taking a little bit of that and I'm going into this darkest brown too. So mixing it a little bit together to see if it's not too dark, and I start in the center and I start blending outwards so that the most of the pigmentation of the darkest brown does not come inwards. So as you see, I'm still having my straight line there, a bit too far, but we blend that all away, don't worry. We are now bringing the dark brown completely here. And now we're taking purely dark brown. And we are now coming down on the outer half of the eye. We're coming down with that dark brown. Going along the lash line, almost to the inner corner, but very fine, but blending, 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 and adding and blending and adding and blending. Plus taking our light color that we had on a fluffy blending brush, we're gonna use that to blend this edge completely into that light color and on the sides. So what I'm actually doing is, and you can dip into that lightest color, I am taking half of the brush on the light section and half on the dark section, and I am blending the edge completely so that it becomes a very fine faded line. And the darker you want it, you can add with your other brush, your dark brown, and again blend. If it's too dark, take your light color and blend. And you can keep blending until your arm falls off, but you blend until you have the wanted result. I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm gonna take a very light shimmery color, which I'm gonna apply on the inner tear duct. So I'm starting under the eye. I am doing this inner tear duct area, and I bring it onto my eyelid. And now it's up to you. Do you want it to be only in the hood? If you don't have a completely hooded eye, you can do this, or you bring it a little bit higher and you fade it towards your complete eyeshadow. And you know, with a color like that, if you want to have it more pigmented, take it on your finger and just press it, and you will have much better results. Then you can use a little bit, but the tiniest bit on the outer edge here, on the inner part and on the outer edge, but just swoop around on that hood, because you don't want to pull it to the front. So just a tiniest bit here, and that's it. That's all. Stop right there. Now I'm taking a rose gold, and that I'm gonna press in the center, very pigmented on the eyelid. With a slightly hooded eye, you can do this. With a complete hooded eye, you have to do this. And if you can, just do it on the moving eyelid. Only put a shimmer in a place that's lower to bring it forward, so that this dark brown, and that brings it not forward, it's gonna leave it in a flowing motion, and the moving eyelid you can bring on shimmer as much as you like. On this eye, I'm gonna use this darkest brown to blend the outer corner a little bit inwards. But mostly, as I said, on the moving eyelid and under the eye. In there. Where you meet the lighter color, and just floop, 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 and done. Very, very fast. And then you can easily blend out this last bit of an edge there that's not to my liking. And also, if it's on yourself, use your finger and go over the edge to have a nice blend. I know we don't work with our fingers, but on ourselves, why not? So the edge is where I want it, the fade is where I want it, it's all how I want it. Just a tiny little touch of gold between the inner tear duct and the rose gold. There. Now that eye is actually ready for eyeliner and lashes. Just put some liner along the lash line. Listen up now. Now I got a monkey in the house. There, as you see, that is a smoky eye with shimmer, with a soft liner. Unless you do it like in my previous video, where you bring it higher. Again, you have to watch that video to know it all.